Welcome to an explainer that might literally change how you look at your everyday interactions and honestly your entire career. Today we're diving deep into the biology of kindness and compassionate leadership. For the longest time, right, we've treated empathy as just a nice to have, or even worse, a vulnerability, especially for women navigating the high-stakes corporate world. But here's the reality. It is actually a biological superpower. We're going to unpack the hard science showing exactly how compassion physically protects our health, how positive social roles literally prevent premature aging, and how modern women can harness all this to completely transform their lives and their leadership. Let's get into it.
Take a look at this quote by Immaculata DeVivo and Daniel Lamera. Kindness is linked with clinically significant improvements to your health and well-being. This absolutely shatters the old-school idea that kindness is just some soft skill. Research actually reveals that kindness is a biological necessity. Think of it as an evolutionary strategy that was absolutely vital to human survival. It gives us that deep sense of belonging without needing constant threats or a common enemy to bond over. It's basically hardwired into our DNA as a mechanism for long-term health and longevity.
So here is our roadmap for today. First, the cellular power of kindness. Second, escaping the perfection trap. Third, daily habits for resilience. And finally, leading with empathic power.
Starting with Section 1, the cellular power of kindness, how compassion protects your DNA.
Okay, so you might be wondering, how does this actually work in the body? Well, think of telomeres like those little plastic tips at the end of your shoelaces, but for your chromosomes. They protect your DNA and prevent cell death. Now, as we age, they naturally shorten, but genetics aren't the only player here. High chronic stress is literally your telomeres' greatest enemy. Stress causes inflammation, which damages your cell health and accelerates your biological aging. And the scary part, once they prematurely shorten, you really can't undo that damage. But cultivating positive emotions and social connections acts as a physical shield, protecting that telomere health and preventing premature cell death.
The good news is we can actively fight back against cellular aging. There's this fascinating Harvard study by researcher Louina Lee showing that embracing values associated with kindness, specifically maintaining an optimistic mindset, physically protects those telomeres. The data is wild. Optimists actually have an 11% to 15% longer lifespan compared to folks with a pessimistic baseline. That vastly increases the likelihood of living past age 85. So, reducing chronic stress through positive psychology interventions directly, physically slows down cellular aging.
On the flip side of that, a massive meta-analysis published in PLOS Medicine showed that lacking strong social connections increases your risk of premature death by a staggering 50%. I mean, wow. Isolation essentially acts as a lethal biological toxin. So, those strong social connections that we cultivate through empathy and kindness, they serve as massive biological protectors. Relationships aren't just nice to have, they are vital nutrients for your cells. Acts of kindness create this beautiful biological ripple effect, strengthening our local community networks and physically protecting everyone involved.
But we have to be clear, not all happiness provides these benefits. You've got hedonic happiness, which is the pursuit of wealth, consumption, and temporary pleasure. Basically, the quick fixes. Contrast that with eudaimonic happiness, a concept going all the way back to Aristotle. You achieve this when you live a purposeful life aligned with your authentic values and self-actualization. Science shows that cultivating eudaimonic happiness, which is deeply tied to how we connect with and serve others, actually leads to lower cortisol levels and less harmful fat around the heart. It drives long-term physical longevity and emotional regulation way more effectively than just chasing the next paycheck.
Moving on to Section 2, escaping the perfection trap, overcoming societal pressures and self-sacrifice. For a lot of women in the workplace, society sets up this really toxic good girl trap. It falsely equates true success with relentless, draining self-sacrifice, basically accommodating everyone else's needs before your own. And this conditioning pushes women right into what experts call the 5 thieves of happiness. They are control, trying to manage the uncontrollable; conceit, focusing entirely on the self rather than our connection to the world; coveting, always measuring our worth against others; consumption, believing external stuff buys joy; and comfort, staying in a stagnant routine just out of fear. A great tip here is to try keeping a daily emotional regulation tracker to monitor how often these thieves rob you of your optimistic mindset and drain your biological resilience.
So how do we break free from all that? We can use a highly practical cognitive behavioral tool called Notice, Stop, and Replace. Step 1, notice the negative thought. Just catch the thief in the act. Step 2, stop the thief from dominating. Don't let it take over your internal narrative. Step 3, replace it with a positive, present-focused thought. This simple, instantaneous act of replacing negative self-talk with an empowering, optimistic thought directly alters your daily emotional regulation. It protects your energy, and it is absolutely crucial for maintaining long-term mental well-being.
Next up is Section 3, Daily Habits for Resilience, Building Emotional Strength and a Wellness Plan. How can modern professionals, especially women navigating high-stress periods at work, build a tangible wellness plan? Well, one of the most powerful daily habits is forgiveness. Holding on to anger and resentment literally erodes your health. So we use the REACH method. Recall the offense, empathize with the offender, offer the altruistic gift of forgiveness, commit to it publicly, and hold on to it. A 2015 collaborative study involving women with PTSD actually found that self-compassion and forgiveness dramatically reduced PTSD symptoms and improved mental health. Forgiveness isn't about letting someone off the hook. It's a profound method to release past trauma and build up your own emotional strength. To start the day grounded, try this 5-minute morning intention-setting exercise. Spend just a few minutes visualizing your best self. Practice loving kindness meditation, or LKM, which research shows directly reduces stress and lengthens those protective telomeres we talked about. State your daily intentions clearly based on your core virtues, and embrace the SPACE framework to ensure you have the energy required for purposeful life. Prioritize sleep, presence, activity, creativity, and healthy eating. Adding some simple nature-based activities to this routine can also really help you reconnect with your inner peace and purpose.
And to close the day out, create a step-by-step evening gratitude checklist. Just 15 minutes of gratitude journaling has been scientifically proven to improve sleep quality and self-esteem. Reflecting on positive, appreciative dialogues, reconnecting with nature, and noting 3 good things from your day specifically benefits female cardiovascular health. This evening practice helps prevent conditions like heart failure by shifting your brain's focus, which allows you to fully recover from the day's stress and wake up with an optimistic mindset. Let's move to Section 4, Leading with Empathic Power, Fostering Compassionate Company Cultures. If we scale these individual biological benefits and daily habits up to the executive level, female leaders have this incredible opportunity to utterly transform corporate environments. Traditional leadership has long relied on command and control, the emotionally cold, iron fist approach. But the reality, backed by a major Harvard Business Review study, is that compassionate leadership, which is empathetic, humanizing, and purpose-driven, is vastly superior. The study actually found that women who lead with these compassionate attributes outperform men as more effective, top-rated bosses, creating significantly higher engagement and psychological safety. To put this into practice, executive Dahlia Feldheim created the 5P model for women leaders. Purpose: find what motivates you to serve others. Power up: prioritize your physical health and set boundaries. Perspective: reframe obstacles and embrace adversity. People: cultivate balanced, authentic relationships. And positivity: prioritize emotional intelligence and gratitude. This model acts as a highly practical guide for executives managing daily stress while simultaneously driving organizational health, team cohesion, and continuous innovation. Ultimately, being a compassionate leader and living a purpose-driven life relies on cultivating your signature strengths. In positive psychology, there are 6 virtue clusters: wisdom, courage, love, justice, temperance, and transcendence. Whether it's utilizing teamwork under the justice cluster or kindness under the love cluster, balancing these individual strengths with daily service to others is exactly how you find that eudaimonic happiness we discussed. It's how you build a kind of resilience that protects your biology and uplifts your entire community. I want to leave you with this provocative thought to chew on today. Are you defining your success by how much you sacrifice, or by the compassion that protects your health and transforms your leadership? We've seen the hard science. Kindness isn't a weakness. It's a literal biological shield and a wildly powerful leadership tool. Take a look at your daily habits today and ask yourself how you can integrate the superpower of empathy into your routine. Thank you so much for joining me, and keep learning.